What's going on, guys? It's another week. Matt and Sean here to shed some light on some scams, some like buyer beware things out there. We were talking earlier this morning on some things that are popping up, both on the mortgage side, and Sean has two cases on the real estate side that we kind of need to be mindful of this year, especially. First and foremost, the land scams that are going on with things like that we're seeing. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here. People, educate us what's going on.
Yeah, so $396 million a year is stolen from land scams. Mm-hmm. And basically what's happening is what you think is a seller, they're reaching out to agents like us, realtors, and what you think is a seller that lives in another state and owns a piece of property or a piece of land in the area that you work in.
Okay.
They call you and they want to sell the land, and everything sounds legit. The only problem is they don't want to ever meet in person because they're out of state or they're out of the country or whatever. But oftentimes they send us IDs to show that they are who owns the land, and it's all legit. But if you think about when we were younger and we used to get these fake IDs, like it's pretty easy to get a fake ID.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're not physically looking at it in person.
Yeah.
Right, so they're sending you pictures of their driver's license. The name matches the owner, the tax records of the property that they're calling about to sell. So we then the realtor or the agent fills out a listing contract, has them DocuSign it. They sign it, via DocuSign or whatever, electronically. We list the land. Oftentimes, most of the time, it doesn't go through. We catch it. But there's $396 million a year that goes missing, right? And these are fraudsters, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually own the land. They figured out a way that they could sign everything electronically, do a remote closing, and then have the funds wired to their account somewhere, whether it's out of the state or out of the country or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a big problem. It was actually we did a story on it. GLVR, Greater Lehigh Valley Realtors, did a story on it on WFMZ a few days ago. And it's a problem. I would say I probably get one call every 2 or 3 months.
Wow.
And if I'm getting it, that means that 3,000 other realtors are getting the same call.
Yeah. And it's always like out of state, kind of fishy, weird. They can't meet. So then it goes. So a lot of that land too, like when it's a house, it's a little bit different. Usually you have people there and moving and things. So land, is that why is land just easier to target just because it's vacant? And
it's vacant. There's, a lot of land, the owners are out of state, like they buy land, it happens, I'm sure, a lot up in the Poconos where there's a lot of land available.
Yeah.
People are out of state and they invest in land. Hoping that land appreciates over time, and it's easy to find. It's easy to find in the public tax records to vacant parcels of land, and these fraudsters are finding it. They have the name of the owner, and they just call a realtor and say, "Hey, this is Joe Smith, and I want to sell my land."
Wow, that's
it's
crazy.
Not easy, but the scary thing is that we're falling for it. People are falling for it. I haven't, personally, but people are falling for it. And then, that land, is transferred to a new owner.
Wow.
And the rightful owners never receive any money for it.
Yeah.
But it's a big problem all across the United States.
Well, as we hit, because there's 3 things. That was the first thing. So just for that topic, if you're an agent or someone, how would you verify that? How would you, if you're not sure, what steps would you take?
The biggest thing is I want to talk to the person on the phone.
Okay.
Right? I do want to see their IDs. I want a phone number that I can call them. I'm going to do a reverse phone number lookup to see if I'm talking to the right person. I want to go explore the property and make sure that there's nothing being built on the land or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Oftentimes you could find records of a past sale in the MLS. So calling maybe the agent that represented the buyer on that parcel when it originally, last transferred hands, to have them contact the owner, the current owner, to see if, in fact, they are looking to sell it. Seems like a lot of steps, but it's fraud, and we want to
protect yourself.
Yeah, we want to protect everybody.
Yeah. All right, well that's good. So those steps are you just do your homework, do your research.
Do your research.
Well, it's that's scary, but it's good to get out there so people are aware. So the second thing I want to talk about is trigger leads. So there is legislation to go through, and you know what those are. So what it is that people don't know is when you make a mortgage application. So when you go through and you complete all the steps to make an application, there is a credit pull, whether it's a soft credit pull or a hard credit pull. Now that is with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. That is, there are companies that can subscribe to, like Experian per se, and they will pay for those leads. They're called trigger leads. You got triggered for something. So a credit card, a car loan, a mortgage especially. So these people get, so we go under contract, get everything together. We do the credit refresher update or whatever it is. And then the borrowers get calls from other lenders, like call centers. And there's nothing illegal about it, but it's very devious in the way that they go through and mislead the client. So they'll come through and they'll have a phone number, an email address possibly. So they'll get a call, like I'm working with a client, they'll get a call like, hey, or a text even. I've seen these text messages. It's, hey, it's Joe. I'm working with your lender. We'd like to go through and talk about your application. We have some unique programs and things. I just want to talk to you about the next steps. Or they're very creative in sounding like they're on a team. And then I get those, and it's not us. It's not me. Or they're hounded for weeks afterwards. Phone call and phone call and phone call. So it's hard, even if you're on the do not call list. It's hard not to get those calls.
Right.
It's
and you wonder like where this is coming from. Like where are they getting their information? Is there data leaks? I mean, I know it's not your company. It's happening nationwide. It's happening all over the place. But is it data leaks? Is it robots that are like scrubbing software like CRMs or something like that?
It actually comes from the credit companies.
Yeah.
So when they fill out their application, it's name, date of birth, social, and phone number or address or email. So it's mainly phone numbers they put in there. So they'll go through, and that's where, and there's nothing illegal about it because they don't have their personal information. But what's scary is a lot of these, depending on how good these, and they're not scammers, they're outside mortgage companies. They'll go through, I've seen like, I have your application right here, I'm good to go. Like, I just need to go through some things. Well, they don't have your application. Experian won't give them your private info, just that you made a mortgage application or a credit card or something like that. So the good news is that there is legislation, which I believe it's coming through. It's getting piggybacked on another bill that was this year to kind of outlaw that. That shouldn't be happening, but it's scary. And
Does it have anything to do with all those, election text messages that I get? Like, everyone want money?
It very well could be. Yeah, they want
nice.
this. Yeah, where you have that. Someone in another country that needs money to release other money things.
So the warning to the consumer who's getting a mortgage is when you get this stuff, like make sure you reach out to your lender. And
I try as hard as I can to educate my clients. Like, you will get these calls. Hopefully it will stop, but you will get these. But rest assured, it's not. And if it's not me, if you're out there, it's not your lender. So trust me, the last thing I want to do is give your info to other lenders. That makes no sense. So it would not be happening. So if you're getting those calls, just know that it's not your lender. It's the credit repository. Companies like Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. So they will go away. But yeah, it's scary. So so just be prepped for that. And then the last one we want to talk to was, which is really unfortunate because a lot of people with renters and rental scams of things, because people that need to get into homes, and especially renters, they might have families moving and stuff like that. So that's
So with inflation where it's at, the cost of renting a property where it's at, like being all-time highs and very expensive to rent and low inventory, it becomes really stressful. And so what's happening, the latest one that we saw was actually a TikTok video. So they're putting these houses on social media and saying that these are for rent, and they're basically taking the photos that they see online on third-party websites like Realtor.com and Zillow and all that stuff, and they're posting these on TikTok and other social media sites as well, and they're saying that it's for rent. And when you reach out to these people, they're from all over the country. The latest one we got was someone claiming to be in Texas. And he was a truck driver that was on the road, and he was renting out this property of his that he owned. and he was looking for the right tenant, and he literally was asking all the right questions. He was saying, why are you moving, and when do you need to be in? And at the end of the conversation, it seemed all legit. At the end of this conversation, he says, "Okay, I'm on the road right now, but just Venmo me $75 for the application fee." And then you Venmo the $75, and it's gone. You never hear from the guy again. Turns out that these listings are not actually rental listings. They're actually homes that are listed in a multiple listing service that are under contract, being sold.
Gotcha.
Right.
And my question, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how are they getting the pictures and all that stuff? And that's, wow.
They're just pulling them from the public websites. We input listings in the MLS.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be anything that's available for sale, but they're actually already sold under contract in between being marketed for sale and being closed on, right? That period of time. And they're literally just posting these, and there's hundreds of them online that you can see.
Yeah.
And these guys are getting away, and you think that, an application fee of $75, that's actually a little high. It's normally like $50, but $75 isn't a lot of money to come out, especially if you're desperate and you have to get into a house.
Yes.
And the story sounds legit, right? The story sounds legit that the guy is on the road.
Yeah.
Just send him the Venmo. He'll send you the application once you get your app fee.
Yeah.
And then, you're going to have a house to move into.
Yeah.
A rental to move into.
If you think about it, $75, it's a nominal amount.
Right.
That's, sure. It's not like $200.
Right.
So, but then if you have 15, 20 applicants that that adds up quickly.
Adds up very quickly. And then when you have 100 listings that you're doing it with.
Wow.
And by the way, when I tried to call this number, because I was working with an agent that this, TikTok video was forwarded to, and thankfully he was asking, is this a scam to us? And we were able to pick it apart. If this same guy or same group of people have 100 listings that they're doing that throughout the nation, and they're getting one application, a week, even if it's one application a week, that's $7,500 a week to make it.
Yes. Oh my God.
And try to get that back from Venmo. Try to.
Oh yeah, it's gone. Especially with. So again, with that, it sounds to me more than anything, working with a real estate agent, whatever your real estate need is, whether it's a rental or buy, because that would not happen with
absolutely, because we have access to the properties in the multiple listing service. We can tell if something's under contract, if something's available, if something truly is a rental.
Yeah.
That when we have something under contract, there's the listing agent. So it's very easy that we can call a listing agent confirm that the new buyer isn't already trying to rent it out.
Yep.
We want to look at all this possible scenarios to make sure that whatever you're looking at isn't a scam. We use rental software. We don't send money through Venmo.
Yeah.
Right. We use credit check information that basically runs people's credit and does background checks, and it's an application process. A third party company. It's secure. It's no one asking for Cash App or Venmo or anything like that. Yeah,
it sounds shady to be. Yeah, anything should be Venmo. That's that's good. All right. Well, 3 areas that people really need to pay attention to. I'm sure there's going to be more and more as we go through, but that was a really good video. So, So guys, any questions you have, if you're working with a real estate agent, ask them. Go through them. If you're with your mortgage lender, ask them. So there are a lot of things out there to be mindful of, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to you working with a professional will help stem this from happening. So if you go it on your own, you could be thrown to the wolves here. But ask questions, guys. The more better. So great topics today.
Yeah,
fantastic. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. Catch you next week. Thanks for watching.